love and marriage, shall we, you know, all relationships take work, we all know that. But a lot of people out there really would like to take that walk down the aisle, which of course starts with dating. But there are a lot of mistakes people make and that women tend to make over and over again when they start dating someone. Joining us now is one of our favorite guests, Dr. Charles Brantley from Restoration Springs Church, an expert in marriage counseling, to tell us about the do's and don'ts of dating. Great to have you here. And you've written numerous books before,
yes.
but this one called Single Ladies, Get Ready for Your Man, obviously we can tell by the title.
Yes.
This is aimed at women. Why specifically
Because it's the women who really are in control and they don't even know it. They are the ones that the guys are coming after, but because of low self-esteem, they don't understand that they're in control and they should be in control and not the guy.
Is that really the place to begin with here, is to look at self-esteem? Is that the starting point?
Look at your self-esteem, because watch this, if you have a low self-esteem, you're gonna go for bottom feeders. That's why so many women wind up with jerks, because they don't feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
So I'm alone and no one wants me, and so let me go for the lowest guys. But if you have a better feeling about yourself, you go higher.
What is up with that? I mean, why would there be, I mean, this is a silly question to ask a
good
man
question,
in psychology, but why such a large percentage of women with low self-esteem?
Because they had fathers that did not ordain them. They didn't give that great perception. My job as a father to my daughter is to tell her how great she is. And that's why so many women don't use Clorox on the guy to wipe him, to make sure he's good match for him. But again, if she doesn't know who she is, then she's not going to know who the guy is as well.
No, I'm actually, for this particular example, I'm not sure if that's a metaphorical prop right here, or if we actually should wipe down a guy when you first meet him, just to make sure that he's
mentally, and if you have to do it physically.
Steam clean him if you have to.
Because you want to make sure you got the right guy in your life.
All right, so you have some other metaphorical props here that also fit into your
In other words, take your time. This is like hand warmers. Take your time to warm up to him. Don't grab him immediately. Don't introduce him to your child. As I talk in my book, immediately. Make sure he is the right fit. Make sure he can match you and not you match him.
You refer to blended families.
Yes.
One of the book, I take it, is for people without children, people who have never been married before, but in this case, blended families, always one more tricky element in this
It's
formula.
a very tricky element, and it's tricky because, again, you have another person outside who's coming in. So it's a package deal. And a lot of guys understand that when you're marrying me, it's the kids as well. And a lot of guys don't have that focus because, again, they never had a family. They didn't have that structure, so they know how to deal with you.
So many guys run and leave skid marks when they run over the issue of clinginess. You hear that, I dated her 2 times, and all of a sudden she's just like, like that. How is that avoided? How do you handle that?
Women are clinging because, again, they find someone and they just grab them too hard because they've been through so many bad relationships that this must be the one, and I'm getting 40, and I'm tired of being an old maid, so that's why I do it. And that's why you have to take your time and change your perception. As this thing is supposed to change the channel, because you don't change your perception, you'll get the same results again.
It'd be great if people came with remote controls, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that just be a perfect world right there?
That'd be great. All the time.
Maybe we'll evolve to that one day. Now, let's talk about some hardcore things that you say just have to be done besides just going with your intuition. You talk about background checks.
Do the background. He might be a sexual predator. Get the FICO score. Make sure he doesn't have bills
You're
like
not
crazy.
joking. You're not joking.
I am not joking. Because, hear me, many women who divorce, they say, I wish I knew. That's why you have to put the headphones on and hear better. Instead of talking, hear better. And if you hear the guy, hear his heart, you'll find out whether he's a good guy or a bad guy for you very quickly.
We missed the headphones. Do that again.
Okay,
have it on camera. Come out. Let's show the headphones.
And again, a lot of times you don't hear correctly because you're so in love, infatuated. But take your time. Hear his heart. You hear his heart. You'll know whether he's good for you or not.
Big issue right here, Dr. Brantley, and that is, dating shouldn't be about sex, but in this hookup culture that we live in now, sometimes it seems like that's all it's about.
And that's all, and it's wrong because you fall in love. The problem is after you fall, you have bruises all over your body. And that's what happens to a lot of women. They fall in love, they go right into bed, and they don't take the time to know this guy. And then you do that, you get in trouble.
So is there a little bit of the element of your bock? Remember that book, The Rules? That was out a few years back, which one of the rules was hold back.
Exactly. In my book, I have shell knots and shells, and you really, the bottom line, women, know yourself. Socrates said that. Know yourself. And we don't know yourself, then you'll find anybody to attach to you, and the bottom line, you end up more lonely and with more scars after the guy leaves you.
There are certain qualities you say a woman should look for in a man, and one of the ones you name at the top is unselfishness.
Yes. I have a great litmus test. Have a dinner with him and see he has one more shrimp left and take it. If he backs you, if he fights you with it, that's not the guy for you. But if he says, baby, that's your shrimp because you belong to me, great guy, unselfish, great one to have.
As we take a look at some of the reminders of the points that we've been bringing up right here, let me just kind of throw in my 2 cents worth that goes along with what you've been saying, which is what I hear from so many women, young, old, and in between, is that they date guys who all they talk about is themselves.
Right.
And I think that's something to look out for. If they're talking about themselves as you get to know them, that's probably the way they are.
A marriage is we, it's not I. And that's why if you have a I mentality, it will not work. And that's why a lot of guys don't make the transition from going from their friends to the woman that they're in love with, because they're so, I gotta go do fantasy sports, I gotta go do this for my friends, and don't have time for the woman. And women need time, big time.
It's a tough issue, and I sometimes feel bad for women not being able to meet higher quality guys. But the fact is, they have to be the one that do the calling and do their research and find that person.
If they do the calling and the research, then they'll have a better result. And that's why, again, on September 26th, we're having a strong marriage wedding reception where we're having couples and singles coming together. And for couples, we're celebrating marriages, the relationship. And for singles, you never know, you may find your soulmate. And go to our website, www.rest.org, and register today.
You never know unless you try.
Thank you, Jim.
Dr. Charles Brantley, wonderful to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Come back and see you soon.
We will.
All right, for more information about this, go to WTNH.com.